Hello and welcome to the Flying Gato YouTube channel. My name is Elias. In today's video, Honda has gone through quite a few recalls lately, and it's time for us to talk about the V6 recall because it's potentially a huge one. 1.4 million Hondas and Acuras, possible engine failure. That's being investigated by the NHTSA. Now remember, this is investigated, not confirmed. That's an important distinction, but it's still something that we should be talking about because Honda's known for their reliability, and this does not bode well for Honda's reliability. So in this video, we're going to talk about what it is, what are the symptoms, what Honda is doing about it, and in the conclusion, we'll figure out, hey, is this a big deal? Let's go ahead and get started with what it is. And first of all, this is the actual recall release from Honda. This was actually back in November 2023, the first recall, and it recalled about 200,000-ish vehicles, ranging from the Acura TLX to the Honda Odyssey and the Honda Pilot and the Honda Passport. They used the J35 engines. And this from 2015 to 2020. In 2021, they changed the design of the V6. And what caused all of this? Well, it's unfortunate to say, but it's effectively a mistake someone made, and a mistake that someone didn't catch or people didn't catch along the way. And it's the way crankshafts are made. And so I wanted to show you what a crankshaft was. This is a crankshaft from a J35. It's an older one, but it's effectively the same thing. And as you can see, 6 different pistons connect to that, as well as, it has to be mounted on the block. And so it's a lot of journals, I call them, or bearings on that crankshaft. And each one of those, it's effectively what it does. It's either forged or cast. I believe these are mostly casts, but they're cast. And then once you finish the casting process, they're sent off to a polishing or machining place. And we'll see, I'll show you guys what that looks like. But this is the finished product. This actually came out of a used V6. And this is not one with an issue. The issue started in 2015 and ended in 2020. And so how are crankshafts made? How can this mistake happen? I'm going to show you guys how it's made, and we'll go through the process here. This is Modern Productions by Tech World Reviews, the YouTube channel. But right here you see, effectively, a crankshaft comes in from casting process. Now this has already been polished a few times, but you can see the precise workings of how, for example, these bearings are smoothed out. They are heated up, they're smoothed out. It's a whole process. I believe this is part of the process where they actually put some materials that are very, very slick or slippery on those crankshafts. And any one of these hundreds of different processes that these crankshafts go through, mistakes can happen, mistakes can be made, and we see issues like this pop up from every manufacturer across the way. It's just unfortunate that it's so many V6s that were affected, and it was such a simple problem. And the problem itself is actually, and Honda figured it out back in 2020, when they were machining these crankshafts, the actual crank pins, or what you saw being polished in this video, those crank pins were manufactured just a tiny bit off, millimeters off, where it's something called crowning, right? So the middle of it was a little higher than the sides of it were, and that caused all of the issues. It causes premature wear on the bearings of the piston, and then eventually the piston seizes up because there's no more smooth walls for it to spin on, and no smooth walls mean an increase in heat. You increase heat, it seizes up the engine, and that's what you see. This is the crankshaft spinning. That's what you see there. Again, at any point in this process, something can be set wrong, and that's exactly what happened with Honda. A technician set a parameter wrong, and nobody fixed it for 5 or 6 years. That's the unfortunate part of all of this. So what does this sound like? And because a lot of people don't know what a crankshaft could sound like if it's failing, and I wanted to show you guys what that sounded like. So here we have Kevin's Cars YouTube channel I found with this issue, and you have to listen carefully to the sound. So I'll shut up and we'll listen carefully.
Give it a rev. That's it. Engine's done. Short block incoming. Thank goodness I bought.
You heard that little knocking, clicking sound? It's basically crank walk. Most people call it crank walk or crank slap or piston slap. It's because there's too much tolerance between where the piston sits and where the crankshaft is. So when things move around in there, it's slapping around. That's literally what you're hearing. You're hearing the piston slapping around in there. You don't want anything slapping around in your engine because eventually, like I said, causes excess heat. Something's going to let go and it won't be pretty. Here's another example. Same YouTube channel, same car. This is an Acura TLX. And let's hear it. So when he revs it out a little bit, you hear a little bit. So again, listen carefully to what this sounds like.
See if I can get the revs going. There we go. So that was it.
So that's what that sounded like. And when you hear that from an engine, it's a fail. And effectively, if it gets to that point, Honda will have to replace the bottom end. So there's a couple of ways that Honda's dealing with this or has been dealing with this. And I applaud Honda for being proactive and doing whatever it can to cover these engines. But one of the original things that Honda wanted technicians to do is to do an inspection of the engine. You're looking at the underside of a J35 V6 engine. This is, by the way, NSX Avier. He's got a great channel. I've watched his videos before, but he's a technician, and this is actually showing you a worn out, well, it's not really worn out, but a used V6 engine with opened crank journals, specifically all the way on the left. You see that little polished area? The little polished area is the actual bearing on the crankshaft. That's what the piece that's been machined wrong, and it leads to excess wear on the bearings of the piston. So what he's pointing at there, that's a bare piston without the bearing because he took the bearing off. And again, if you have an issue like what Honda has, you have excess wear on the bearings themselves. They wear out. You get excess movement. You get friction buildup. And you have issues. So the way that Honda was trying to deal with this is by doing exactly what he was doing and going in, opening up the engine, replacing the bearings, and calling it a day. The problem is a lot of these vehicles were coming in and with catastrophic failure, right? There were hundreds of them coming in with catastrophic failures. This next video, he throws the crankshaft in the ground because that's the second option that Honda has. And it's effectively replacing the entire crankshaft, the entire bottom end of the engine, right? So they have to take the whole engine out of the car or SUV, you know, depending if you have a Pilot, MDX, or TLX. You have to take the whole engine out, replace the crankshaft, which is that's called the crankshaft, and put in new bearings, new crankshaft, slap it all together, and put it back in the car. I don't know about you guys. I'm not the biggest fan of knowing that my whole engine was apart at one point, and now I'm driving this used engine around that's been put together by some random technician that I don't even know. And so there he is. He's again a technician for Acura. And you know, putting it together, it's not that hard. There's instructions on how to put it all together. But it just takes one lazy technician or just having a bad afternoon or whatever the case may be for that tolerance to be off, for that install to be off. And usually those engines will fail quickly, but sometimes they go on for a little bit. Let's say you buy one of these used, you could be stuck with a poorly put together engine. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not really a fan of that. And so the original idea of replacing just the bearings, that was working a little bit. But frankly, I think Honda's going to have to bite the bullet and probably change out the entire block, the entire engine. So here we have BC Auto Solutions YouTube channel. And I wanted to show you a little bit of the procedure because if you're replacing the bearings, this is the procedure. They put in this magnetic thing in the front, you put a zip tie on it, and it shows you, how to move the crankshafts so that you could change the different bearings of a V6. Again, it's kind of a complicated procedure, not the worst. I mean, if I gun to my head, if I had to do it myself, I can probably take care of it and probably take me 5 or 6 hours just to figure it all out and do it carefully because I'm not a trained technician by any means. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this at all. Here, I like this. I wanted to show you guys this because the technicians, Honda technicians and engineers, want the technicians to put these in like a special box to show the bearing and how they are. I'm going to pause it here because you can kind of see at the top, there's a little bit of extra wear on the top right. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's not that much wear on this one, but there's a little bit of wear on this one. On the right ones have a little bit of extra wear. They're not that bad. They don't look too poor, these. So, but some of them are coming out completely trashed. Honda is having technicians take pictures and sending it back to the Honda engineers. And so, yeah, they're doing what they can, but it just worries me a little bit to know that there's going to be a bunch of Honda V6s running around with this open bearing problem. Now, am I saying that I wouldn't buy a 2015 to 2020 Honda V6? No, I'm not saying that at all. So I want to put things into perspective. Less than 200 vehicles have been found by the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration with issues pertaining to this problem. Less than 200. And Honda's been reporting that less than 2,000 vehicles have had an issue like this. If you go to the forums, there's a few people having problems, but it's certainly not everybody. So it's certainly not every single Honda and Acura V6 from 2015 through 2020 that has issues. In fact, I know tons of Acuras and Hondas with the same J35 V6 with 200,000 miles and never had a problem. But there's some precautions I would take. If you own this model year, right, so 2015 to 2020 J35, right, so again, they're found on passports, Pilots, Odysseys, and the Acuras, the MDXs and the TLXs. If you have one of them, I would change the oil frequently. Every 3 or 4 years, I would take your oil and send it to Blackstone Labs to see if your bearings are having some issues. If your bearings are wearing down quicker than they're supposed to, you'll see them in the oil analysis. And obviously, because of the recall, I would go and take your car to Honda or Acura and get it fixed. It's as simple as that. Because Honda is doing the right thing here. There's a lot of manufacturers out there that will try everything in their power to mask any issue like this before it gets to some kind of recall. That way they can save the money and not pay for the recall. I'm talking about GM, I'm talking about old Chrysler, I'm talking about, there's a lot of instances where manufacturers just don't care. One of the manufacturers, for example, like Hyundai, lots of their engines were just dying, just completely grenading themselves. Now, the reason that these engines were grenading themselves is basically just poor manufacturing, poor design, and just overall terrible design from the Hyundai engines. But they don't fail in a way that can cause a fire. They don't fail in a way that can cause a safety problem. They just kind of stop working. And because of that, they don't have to issue a recall, so they don't. Hondas, the way they're failing possibly could. There's been one instance of one car fire because of this, so that's why they're being investigated. But before there was a fire, Honda still issued a recall themselves a year ago. That's high marks for Honda. That's really, really high praise for Honda. I think Honda's doing the right thing here. I think they're doing it correctly. I think they're going to make all these V6 owners whole. I think the V6 engine for Honda is one of the best. I own one. So my Honda Pilot is the newer V6. I don't know how good it's going to be because it's a slightly new design. But it's effectively been the same engine being produced for the last 30 years, right? And so I know it's going to be fairly reliable. There's some issues here and there, but I know Honda's going to be good to make sure that I'm not left with a terrible car. And so, again, in conclusion, I think Honda's doing the right thing. I would still go out and buy these cars. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just would pay attention to the engine oil changes and stuff and make sure that the recall was done correctly. And yeah, if the whole engine was replaced, fine. If only the bottom end was replaced, I'd have a problem with it. And it'd be difficult to figure out whether or not that's done properly or not. You just have to roll the dice. But I guess a positive thing about this is that V6s from this era, they're going to be slightly cheaper to buy on the used market than previous and future V6s. So, there's always a silver lining to the cloud. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching this video. Or let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.